and partnership to improve child's well-being. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Natasha Roy. Thank you for joining us. Minister for International Trade and Investment Richard Maru made a call for public and private sectors to attend the launching of the Special Economic Zone Foundation policy on the 15th of June at APEC House in Port Moresby.
Minister Maru confirmed today that Prime Minister James Marape will officially launch the Special Economic Zone Foundation policy. He said the launch of this policy will result in the current SEZ Act of 2019 being repealed and a new act will be enacted to reflect the changes in the foundation policy. The minister said interested parties can get a copy of the policy to know the processes on how to establish a special economic zone and apply for its licenses.
What is interesting about the policy? The policy will define what SEZs are and the different types of SEZs. It will tell you how to apply for a license and the different types of licenses. It will tell you also the types of industries can be located within SEZs. It will also tell you about the incentives that are going to be provided for investors to locate within SEZs. Our policy will also talk about the various fees that will be charged by the SEZ authority.
He appealed to interested parties to contact the ministry and confirm their attendance before June 15th.
It is important that all key stakeholders attend the launching, and I'm talking provinces, districts who want to be in SEZs. They need to come, get copies of the policy, ask the questions they need to ask, and be clear.
Meanwhile, at this stage, PNG is set to establish up to 7 new special economic zones this year. Louis Mango, National EMTV News.
Meanwhile, apart from Paga Hill Special Economic Zone that has already been licensed, the government has recently approved 3 more SEZs.
The 3 recently approved special economic zones are the Sea Park SEZ, Finsafen Integrated SEZ, and the Central Province Industrial Park. Minister Maru said few more are expected to be announced over the next months.
So this year we are looking at 7 new SEZs. Apart from the 3 I've already announced, we are processing letters from a couple more, which I'm not privy to announce until the NEC has approved them. But I have no doubt that before September, our government will approve 7 more SEZs.
Maru noted that this is a very exciting year for the country, with more interests coming from investors from within and outside the country to establish businesses within special economic zones. He stated that to get a SEZ license, certain requirements are to be met.
Now, how do you get a license? You must firstly have state land. You must have money to develop the industry you want to develop. All the enabling infrastructure like wharf must have, power must have, water must have. So you can start the business. Without all these things, all the enablers, you don't have got the SEZ.
Minister Maru believes that Special Economic Zone is a game changer for economic development in the country, and he wants department and agencies, province and districts to apply for licenses and operate a Special Economic Zone. He said SEZ will solve all major issues in the country, and a notable one is high unemployment. Louis Mango, National EMTV News.
Following the halt of independent round log export verification contract services by SGS, the Special Parliamentary Committee is urging the executive government to engage credible organizations to carry out inspections on logging in the country.
The chairman for Special Parliamentary Committee on Public Sector Reform and Service Delivery said the termination of SGS service is alarming.
That organization has not been functioning for the last, I think it's 15 months or so. This raises serious questions for us. Questions as to whether there are inspections being carried out on all log exports. And we found that, yes, whilst inspections are being carried out, it appears that no discrepancies are found since these services were terminated.
SGS was engaged as a result of the Tos Bernard inquiry into organized crime in the forestry sector. Upon their engagement, they have found on every shipment discrepancies for the last 30 years.
Discrepancies are quite significant, per year. But they're not being picked up now by the PNG Forest Services, which raises a lot of concern, which is the reason why the SGS were engaged in the first place, because that was highlighted 30 years ago in the Tos Barnett inquiry, that the inspection services by the PNG Forest Services at that time had been compromised.
The chairman said the PNG Forest Authority needs to revisit the cease of SGS operations.
And if the executive government has to act to take note so that they can re-engage, not necessarily SGS, but any credible organization so that they can carry out these inspections and be able to pick up these discrepancies and therefore prevent the illegal export of logs and the evasion of customs duty, then that's a decision that needs to be made as soon as possible on behalf of the people of Papua New Guinea.
Malinta Yopolo, National EMTV News. Meanwhile, the Parliamentary Committee chairman has acknowledged the different views and questions raised by the people regarding the work of the committee.
The chairman for Special Parliamentary Committee said while all questions raised by the people on the committee's work is important, people need to understand the process of their work.
Parliamentary committees can't just deliver reports and then walk away. They've got to make sure that the recommendations are implemented.
He said a ministerial committee has been put together to establish a secretariat to implement the recommendations.
To answer the question of a lot of people out there who are raising these issues on social media or in mainstream media as to what parliamentary committees do, they identify problems, carry out an inquiry, highlight issues, and then they come up with recommendations as to how to improve the performance of these organizations or how to address these major concerns.
Malinta Yopolo, National EMTV News.
UNICEF and the Papua New Guinea Council of Churches have formally signed a memorandum of understanding to launch a national partnership aimed at improving the well-being of children across Papua New Guinea.
The agreement marks the beginning of a collaborative effort to promote positive parenting, increase access to immunization and birth registration, improve child nutrition, and prevent violence against children. Churches in Papua New Guinea play a central role in community life and are uniquely placed to reach families with life-saving messages and services. UNICEF representative Vera Mendonça explained churches' contribution to the advocacy of the well-being of children.
I'm so happy to be involved here. I do think the partnership with the churches is going to make a difference in the lives of children. So in this 50th year, I'm hoping now when we do the signing of memorandum, you with your immense network of churches, pass that message to make sure our children eat healthy, to make sure the mothers are well protected, they take the baby to the hospital, to the clinic, and you promote those practices that will keep our children safe from violence.
General Secretary for Papua New Guinea Council of Churches expressed his gratitude for this partnership.
I'm extremely grateful for this partnership in rolling out something that will be for the good of our people. We have the responsibility to take care of the well-being and welfare of the people.
Through this partnership, UNICEF will work with PNGCC's extensive network of congregations, women's groups, and youth ministries to promote key protective and health behaviors for children. By combining moral influence with technical expertise, the partnership seeks to create safer, healthier environments where every children can survive and thrive. Nicole Rama, National EMTV News.
National Weather Services have warned of potential heavy rains for the next 12 to 24 hours, expected over Bougainville, Namatanai, East and West New Britain Province, Moresby, Medang, Oro, Southern Highlands and Hela provinces, inland of Gulf, as well as the northern coast and islands of Milne Bay Province. This can cause flash and riverine flooding, with landslides expected over prone areas for the next 24 hours. Concerned residents are advised to take necessary precautions. The construction of the Komaip Bridge along the Wabek-Maramuni section of the proposed Enga-Sipik Highway has been completed by the Wabek District Development Authority. Wabek Open MP Dr. Lino Tom announced that the third permanent bridge along the Wabek-Maramuni was completed today, with the construction team moving ahead to construct the remaining bridges. Construction of these bridges are needed to ensure building materials for the construction of the 30 million Kina Asian Development Bank funded Maramuni Rural Hospital project to reach the Pasalangus government station on time for the actual construction to commence. The MP said the road construction team will move further towards Pasalangus to construct the fifth bridge over the Kamaup River. Construction of the main Lagai Bridge, which is the fourth bridge, has also commenced as of last week. The Wabek-Maramuni Road project initially began in 2018, with its road project aligning under the Connect PNG program. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Chicken kebasa din ha? Yum!
This different.
Chicken curry, my favorite.
Kebabs for you,
Yum!
stir fry for you, and chicken curry for us.
Magic in every meal, one cube at a time.
You get big data and big value with Telecom Good Pillar mobile data plans. From only 3 Kina, you get 1 gig for 24 hours. And for only 150 Kina, you get 130 gigs over a whopping 30 days. And with loads of Good Pillar data plans to choose from, there's a small, medium or large plan to match your budget. Dial *777# to subscribe. Telecom, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
From the mountains to the seas to global markets, the National Fisheries Authority proudly celebrates 50 years of growth. We're advancing tuna domestication, aquaculture, coastal fisheries, and sustainable fisheries management. Through stakeholder consultations, policy reforms, and stronger surveillance, we're protecting PNG's marine wealth and shaping a sustainable future. National Fisheries Authority, sustaining our future, empowering our nation.
Join me on House and Home for all your home and lifestyle improvements.
It's not rocket science. And many of these things too, I didn't go to school, I teach myself.
From Hatok Mang health and fitness, interest stories, gardening tips, out and about, pet care, and many more. Join me every Tuesday 7 p.m. on your number one to watch, MTV.
You're watching National MTV News. Secretary for Works and Highways Gibson Hollenbach has announced the road link connecting Port Moresby and Lae is expected to be completed before the 50th anniversary celebrations in September.
Secretary Hollenbach revealed that his team is working hard to complete all the roadworks in time for the Prime Minister's trip via the new road link to Lae.
So that the Prime Minister, as you heard from the Parliament sitting last weekend, this week he is telling them that before September I'll be driving to Lae. That is why we are working very hard to try and reach the target.
The Secretary outlined some of the progress on the ground, which they are positive that the team will be completing on time.
The southern corridor we've already passed through, and now we are working on the bridges. So yesterday my team on site sent me a video that they are now building almost 2 center piers now over the Bonua River.
Mr. Hollenbach said they have forged a partnership with the Department of Forestry to assist in constructing the road for logging.
MOU with forestry as well, because forestry is helping us to also use the logging companies on the logging sides to build the access roads, and we build it up to normal national road class standard. So that is very important. We have Connect PNG programs right across the country, covering length and breadth of this country, from north to south, east to west.
Benson Wema, National MTV News.
The Mange Road Rural Electrification Project in Notwagi, Jiwaka Province was commissioned in Ngende Village last Friday. The project was funded by Petroleum Resource Kutubu and Mineral Resource Development Company.
The project is two power phase connections that aim to provide reliable electricity to underserved communities. This will enhance economic opportunities and improve life for families. Minister for Civil Aviation and member for Jimmy Wakegoi thanked MRDC Chief Operating Officer John Twaim and citizens who have the art to take such initiative back to their communities.
We like to thank you long sample pure Papua Guineans, only team plus blongor, only team area where only come long end. Now only like time long improving. Today plenty of Papua Guineans around the country only moving all ahead and send us.
Petroleum Resource Kutubu Director Max Sakai adds the local communities to look after the project and use it wisely.
Passing to look at him and big something. Can't something also by the community, but you must look at it. You must look at it.
Meanwhile, Gulf Governor Chris Aveita assured the communities that it is a two-phase power project installed and people can use it for industrial work too.
Big platform and two-phase power. Jointly putting three-phase to come, but putting one transformer, now giving two-phase power, so you can work in plenty or industrial production. Also, Minister is talking to you. Suppose you like working business. Suppose you like working sawmill, you like working bakery, you like working butchery, power stuff.
The ceremony was officiated by Gulf Governor Chris Haiveta, Minister for Civil Aviation and member for Jimmy Wakegoi, along with representatives from the Mineral Resource Development Company and Petroleum Resource Kutubu. Edward Luke, National MTV News, Bans.
The Western Highlands Governor's Charity Ball that was hosted on Saturday at the Sir Mara House has raised an estimate of 400,000 kina. The Charity Ball was an initiative of the Provincial Governor, Wairapa.
The Western Highlands Governor's Charity Ball
raised a total of 410,000 kina, which will go directly to the Mount Hagen General Hospital to help with operations, highlighting that the Mount Hagen Hospital, being the most visited in the Highlands region, Governor Rappa elaborated on the challenges it faces.
The staff do an incredible job, but they are working with limited equipments and are stressed out in resources. As we all know, Western Islands, the Mount Hagen Hospital represents all of the islands region.
Mr. Rappa said the charity ball is held with the intention of raising funds for the hospital to buy necessary equipment. He said schools and hospitals in the province are stressed out in resources and further called on everyone to support them. The hospital's acting chief executive officer, Jane Holden, said the money will be used to purchase dental equipment to restore the pride of the once vibrant dental clinic that served thousands of Upper Islands provinces. The fundraising activity was facilitated by the Eagle Foundation, Inc., together with the Office of the Western Islands Governor. Jacinta Doctor, National EMTV News.
Meanwhile, Governor Rappa assured businesses and investors operating in Western Highlands Province that his government will continue to prioritize law and order to protect them.
Governor Rappa said he is working in collaboration with law enforcers to maintain law and order in the province.
What we are now seeing in Mount Hagen is the result of strong cooperation between the Western Islands provincial government Mount Hagen Open Member and Minister Ruman, other open members of the province, and combined efforts of the PDC and the police in Western Islands Province, Defense Force, and the Mount Hagen City Commission.
Noting this, Mr. Rappa guaranteed business houses that the province is safer to do business. He said when there is confidence in security, investments follow.
When there is a confidence in security, investments follow. And with investment comes jobs created and growth in business, in economics, and opportunities for good things to come.
He also appealed to citizens in the province to work together with his government and the police to help make Mount Hagen City a safer place for everyone. Jacinta Doctor, National EMTV News.
Trukai Industries Limited has welcomed the government's recent decision to implement zero rating for goods and services tax on essential goods that is currently being rolled out.
In a statement released, Trukai Industries expressed their intention to supporting the government provide direct relief to consumers, especially at this time when people are facing economic challenges. Head of Trukai Industries, Andrew Grace, stated that they are right behind the government and are supporting this measure. He added that removing tax on essential items is a great way to assisting everyone that are no doubt by now strained by cost of living. Trukai Industries continues to value its customers and is committed to providing high qualities and nutritious rice products to all Papua New Guineans at affordable prices. Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
The National Superannuation Fund, or Nasfund, has announced that its team is working to secure a temporary location for its Wewak branch in East Sepik Province to resume operations.
This announcement was made following the recent fire incident that caused the office to go down in flames on Friday. Nasfund reported that the fire was believed to have started from an electrical fault in a neighboring property and spread towards the building where its office was located. According to an eyewitness, Samuel Simon, the firefighters responded late when the building was already up in flames. Mr. Simon said the fire almost spread towards the nearby building, adding that there was water outage in that area at the time of the incident. Following this, Nasfund advised that in the meantime, members and employers in Isipik province are encouraged to use Nasfund's digital journals, including the Nasfund mobile app, member online portal, and rebrand services for assistance. The institution appealed to its members and employers for their patience as it works towards securing a temporary location for operations to resume. Jacinta Doctor, National EMTV News.
Now we take a look at the Nasfund market report. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2435 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2360, 0.3606 Australian dollars, 0.1990 euro, and 33.79 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed lower, copper closed unchanged, palm oil closed higher, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed higher. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with Nasfund. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Tell him shorty come get it in. Come grind on me, but met it in. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, ice cold, no excuse. I tell him who's gonna bring that roof down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Tell him who's gonna bring that roof down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Pepsi, give me some Pepsi, Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi,
They prey on the living and come by the thousands. They will not stop until they get what they want. From the producers of malaria, dengue, and yellow fever comes a plague that will not and cannot be stopped unless it's sapped. To stop them dead with Sap mosquito coils, out now at your local supermarket. Rated deadly.
As PNG's only ISO-accredited bulk haulage operator, IPI Transport guarantees the delivery of your critical cargo. Equipped with state-of-the-art GPS tracking systems and backed by an experienced team, you can rely on IPI Transport, part of the IPI group of companies.
Middle-income economies, the average is around 12%.
Taxation in Papua New Guinea has been critical to PNG's development.
and has come under much scrutiny and debate since independence.
For PNG, our average is 30%, whereas if you look at other economies, like low-income economies similar to PNG, the average is around 15%.
How could PNG's income tax schedule be improved? That's on tonight.
You're watching National EMTV News. The government is supporting the call to enhance the prosecution system in Papua New Guinea by boosting the police force.
Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso said the current government is looking into ensuring the police, defense and correctional service are fully equipped to serve the country.
It was underfunded. We had not had a recruitment for 7 to 10 years. The police force had been left to neglect. That has changed under the guidance of this government.
He explained that whilst the country needs well-trained policemen and women, there is also the need for good investigators.
Under the Commissioner and the Minister for Police's guidance and leadership is now working towards enhancing our prosecution, ensuring conviction rates are improved, ensuring that investigations are done properly, to ensuring that our police force operates effectively.
Mr. Rosso explained on their intention to improve the middle-ranking management of the police force.
But it is not so only that. We also need good middle-ranking management. That has also started with the NCO training. That has started with the cadet officers training that has been coming out of the Royal Papua Constabulary Moana Training College, the 3-year training program, and that will continue until we fill in all the gaps in our middle management.
Benson Wema, National EMTV News.
And New Guinea has sponsored a talented delegation of artists and cultural practitioners from Milne Bay Province who are attending the grand opening of Metropolitan Museum of Art's Oceanic Gallery in New York.
The journey took them from Alotau to Port Moresby and Brisbane with the airline support before travelling onward to the United States. Members of the delegation includes Lazarus Modea, who is the master carver from the Trobriand Islands, renowned for his intricate woodwork and storytelling. Jeff Evanett, who is the artist, storyteller and historian from Samurai Island, dedicated to preserving coastal community stories. Fidelma Saevaru, culture bearer and vital contributor to the partnership, providing historical context for Pacific artifacts. The delegation's partnership included workshops, demonstrations, and engaging conversations, bringing Pacific perspectives directly into the museum experience. The reopening of the Metropolitan Museum in New York celebrated the complete renovation of the Met's Michael Rockefeller Wing, housing over 1,800 works. This journey began 2 years ago when the Met reached out to the Massey Museum, seeking genuine voices to provide context for the Pacific collections. Pakatambua, National EMTV News.
In recognition of the 2023 historic visit by the President of the French Republic, Emmanuel Macron, Prime Minister James Marape has officially named the prominent lookout at Varirata National Park as the President Emmanuel Macron Lookout.
President Macron was invited to Papua New Guinea by Prime Minister Marape to engage in discussions on forest conservation and climate action. During his visit, the president joined the Prime Minister on a 1-hour 40-minute walk from the Varirata Information Center to the scenic lookout point within the national park. A walk that symbolized the two nations' shared commitment to protecting global forest resources. To formalize the naming of the lookout, the Office of the Prime Minister, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Climate Change jointly coordinated the installation of a commemorative plaque at the site. This gesture reflects Papua New Guinea's appreciation for France's ongoing support in climate diplomacy and sustainable forest initiatives. Plans are currently underway to develop a permanent structure at the lookout to enhance the area's accessibility and presentation, giving proper face value and recognition to this landmark within Varirata National Park. Nicole Rama, National EMTV News.
Primary schools in Moresby province were encouraged to implement the Boy Scouts curriculum. This, according to Scouts Association of PNG Chief Executive Officer Noel Pinda, may be as an intervention measure to address student disciplinary issues. CEO Noel Pinda said this comes as an initiative of the national government to insert the Boy Scouts movement into the school system to help impart discipline on students. Pinda said this intervention measure is aimed at addressing issues like cult activities and school fights, among other social behavioral issues affecting students' learning. He said this in light of the country's 4 regions Boy Scout school curriculum rollout program, where the Boy Scouts Association were tasked to implement the program in selected provinces of the 4 regions. Several Moresby primary schools are to implement a Boy Scouts curriculum after a 3-day workshop to roll out the program recently. A Moresby School Scouts organization was formed to coordinate the program. Meanwhile, the Boy Scouts Association of PNG will join the worldwide Boy Scouts movement in its 100-year milestone celebration next year. Led by Boy Scouts Association of PNG patron Governor General Sir Bob Dadai. The Boy Scouts movement worldwide was established in 1926. And now moving to overseas news. The governor of California says Donald Trump is hoping for chaos by sending National Guard troops into Los Angeles to help quell protest against raids targeting undocumented migrants.
The National Guard on the streets of Los Angeles, here ostensibly to keep the order, but the deployment itself has caused a political storm. 2 days of protests have seen sometimes violent clashes between locals angry about immigration raids in the city and law enforcement using tear gas and rubber bullets. There have been a number of arrests. LA's mayor has called the decision to send in the National Guard unnecessary posturing. California's governor says it's pure political spectacle orchestrated by President Trump. But Mr. Trump insists that the troops are needed to restore the peace.
Well, we're going to have troops everywhere. We're not going to let this happen to our country. We're not going to let our country be torn apart like it was under Biden.
Even the city's police force, however, says the protests have so far been small and they don't need the extra help, with many residents also left baffled about why the National Guard has been sent in.
I think it's an intimidation tactic. I think it's trying to make sure that people don't come out and give protests. They don't come and protect their fellow citizens, their fellow community members.
They came trying to intimidate and scare us, and the community is saying no, and that's what caused people to be angry.
It's pretty obvious to most people, I would think, that this is their response to that. They don't like being criticized. Trump does not like being criticized, and this is how he has responded.
The protests were triggered by the arrests of dozens of immigrants. California is the world's 4th largest economy and relies on this workforce. Many Democratic politicians argue that those working without documents and who pay their taxes should be left alone. At one point, one group of protesters tried to stop a bus carrying some of those detained. But Mr. Trump, basking in a standing ovation at an Ultimate Fighting Championship match in New Jersey, insists he's fulfilling his mandate to crack down on illegal migration and that no one can be allowed to stand in the way.
Russia says its forces have made territorial gains in Ukraine's east and northeast. There have been enormous aerial barrages in Kyiv and Kharkiv in the past few days in some of the largest attacks of the war.
Despite peace talks just last week, the war in Ukraine is escalating, with massive aerial bombardments of Ukrainian cities in the last few days and Russia making some territorial gains. Moscow says its forces have reached the western frontier of Ukraine's Donetsk region in the country's east and are making gains near Sumy in the northeast, a region Ukraine had reclaimed in 2022. Ukraine's military says Russia's forces are building a position for an attack on an important logistical hub for the Ukrainian army. This all comes just days after intense drone and missile attacks on Kyiv on Friday and Kharkiv in the country's east on Saturday. The barrage in Kharkiv was described as the largest attack since the war began. These attacks were described by the Kremlin as a response to Ukraine's drone attack last week on Russian air bases, which destroyed Russian bombers. Analysts say the war will likely continue in this fashion for months.
I think the Russian summer offensive will continue till about October. They might have some gains. They will probably occupy one or two settlements in Donetsk Oblast. Perhaps they will take a few villages in other provinces. They will definitely terrorize Sumy and Kherson and their civilians with the large drone attacks. They will definitely terrorize Ukrainian cities with drone attacks. At the same time, I suspect Ukraine will really speed up its long-range ballistic missile program and will probably manage another audacious daredevil attack.
US officials say they believe Russia's retaliation has not begun yet in earnest and will likely be a significant multi-pronged strike. Further peace talks are expected at the end of the month in the shadow of this bloody escalation to the war.
Activists say Israeli troops have boarded a yacht trying to bring humanitarian aid to the Gaza Strip.
And hi, Australia. Yeah, tonight I was on the phone with the captain around 11 p.m. UK time, and everything was fine. I just wanted to check that they were still in international waters, which was the case, and they were all okay because they were not visible anymore on the tracker. And this is when I heard the alarm, and there was quite a moment of panic on the boat because the boat had been surrounded by 5 speedboats. In a few minutes, things were calm. The captain has been extraordinary, and so the other team members. I was on the phone with them recording everything because you never know how things can evolve. But and I said, call me if anything else is needed. And then I received another phone call, and there was much more anxiety. I could hear in the voice of the captain and the others because the boat was surrounded by drones. 2 drones had been seen. I asked them to identify what kind of drones, if they had a capacity. And in a few minutes, they told me they had seen quadcopters, the machines, the drones that can shoot. So they took cover, and the boat was meanwhile being sprayed with a white substance. This was the end of the second phone call, and around 12:30 a.m. UK time, I received another phone call that they had been intercepted. So the soldiers were coming in, and I could hear the voice of the soldiers on the boat. It seemed that there was chaos, but at the same time it was relatively calm. And the captain was still speaking, saying, until we were boarded, no one was wounded. And then the communication was cut.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Chukai Sports. Stay with us.
Accept the challenge. Choose PNG's favorite purified bottled water. True Wara, 100% PNG made.
Proudly bottled by Paradise Foods.
Hilton Port Moresby Hotel and Residence. Hilton Port Moresby Hotel and Residence. Your stay, your house, your home.
Enjoy more talk, more text, and more time online with Telecom More Bundles. Choose from 8 plans ranging from 3 kina with 600 megabytes of data all the way up to 75 kina, loaded with a massive 35 gig. Best of all, each plan comes with an unlimited on-network call minutes plus on-net and off-net talk and text. That's way more time to chat with family and friends. Telecom More Bundles. Top up now.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennau, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
Martha, and each week on Kai Time, we'll introduce you to local food businesses showcasing their delicious dishes. Plus, you will discover how to make tasty and affordable meals using ingredients from your local markets. Tune in to Kai Time every Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here on your number one to watch, MTV.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. A 14-year-old female distance runner, Mindy Kipas, has scooped the first medal of the Highlands Momase Open Championship over the weekend in Simbu Province. Kipas was the highlight of the event as she strives to write her name amongst the greats in PNG track's history. The young runner swept through the Highlands Momase Championship over the weekend, winning 2 golds and a bronze medal. She raced home first in the 5,000 meters and 3,000 meters before capping off her performance in representing Team Simbu with a bronze medal in the 1,500 meters open women's division. Starting her career in the athletics in 2022, Kipas quickly rose to the winner's circle with an outstanding performance in the local provincial competition that earned her spot in representing her province. Kipas is currently undergoing training in Kundiawa Simbu Provincial Athletics Resource Centre under her coach Peter Siune and President Gera Kindine, with a dream to one day represent PNG. Cricket PNG joined the celebrations at Australia Community Day, held at Sir Hubert Murray Stadium in Port Moresby recently.
The event at the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium brought together communities, leaders and sports for a fun-filled day of culture, connection and cricket. A highlight of the day was the cricket mini-game featuring an exciting display of talent that had everyone join for a 6-a-side cricket game. The friendly match saw Cricket PNG national team captains Baramandis Asadvala, Lawas Brendatau, Garamut Gaba Frank and Ciales Dika Lohia take to the field alongside special guests including NCT Governor Paul Pakop, Australia's High Commissioner to PNG Ewan McDonald and Motu Koitabu Assembly Chairman Dadi Toka Jr. In a crowd-pleasing moment, Governor Pakop showed off a powerful swing of the cricket bat to the bowling skills of Mr. McDonald, demonstrating that cricket truly brings people together. Australia also had a competitive team match against the national team representatives. Cricket PNG was represented by members of all 4 national teams. CPNG Board Chairman Michael Harrison said it was fitting to bring people together through sport and culture as Papua New Guinea count down to 50th independence anniversary. Pakatambu Trukai Sports.
Chukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports.
Chicken kebasa din ha? Yum!
This different.
Chicken curry, my favorite.
Kebabs for you.
Yum.
Stir fry for you. And chicken curry for us.
Magic in every meal, one cube at a time.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with Nasfund. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family. Living each day, knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
From the mountains to the seas to global markets, the National Fisheries Authority proudly celebrates 50 years of growth. We're advancing tuna domestication, aquaculture, coastal fisheries, and sustainable fisheries management. Through stakeholder consultations, policy reforms, and stronger surveillance, we're protecting PNG's marine wealth and shaping a sustainable future. National Fisheries Authority, sustaining our future, empowering our nation.
Are you tired of standing in those long lines to get your jackpot tickets? Guess what? You never have to with Telecom USSD jackpot ticket purchase. Simply dial *321#, follow the prompts, and you are set for your jackpot draw. It's as easy as 3, 2, 1. Telecom PNG, connecting you anywhere, anytime.
Join me every Thursday night as Sports Scene brings to you all the local and international sporting updates. Revisiting our legendary athletes.
Hi, this is David Mead.
Highlighting our local sports developments across the nation.
Always on top of the now an NRL team based here.
We create a pathway.
And our talented rising stars.
Hi, my name's Gemma Schnobel and you're watching
all the younger ones would follow.
Sports Scene, Thursday nights at 7 p.m. only on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
You're watching Chukai Sports. Now moving to overseas sports. In AFL, Carlton has kept their season alive, and in the end, they defeated Essendon by 8 points recently at the MCG.
It was such a weird match, such a nervous match for Blues fans because they had a dominant first quarter, outscoring the Bombers 6-1. Would you believe that quarter ended up being the difference? They held on to the end but saw their lead diminish to single digits in the end, that 8-point win. They sit 11th on the ladder. They have saved their season essentially for now. Meanwhile, Essendon will be ruining their chance which they missed, to enter the top 8.
The Carlton fans always come out and they're so loud and passionate, so it's always good to play in front of such passionate fans.
And that ends Chukai Sports. The Morning Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henao, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
As PNG's only ISO-accredited bulk haulage operator, IPI Transport guarantees the delivery of your critical cargo. Equipped with state-of-the-art GPS tracking systems and backed by an experienced team, you can rely on IPI Transport, part of the IPI group of companies.
They prey on the living and come by the thousands. They will not stop until they get what they want. From the producers of malaria, dengue, and yellow fever comes a plague that will not and cannot be stopped unless it's sapped. To stop them dead with SAP mosquito coils, out now at your local supermarket. Rated deadly.
Tell him shorty come get it. Come grind on me, but met it. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, ice cold, no excuse. I tell him who's gonna bring the roof down. Pepsi with the fresh sound. Tell him who's gonna bring the roof down. Pepsi with the fresh sound. Pepsi, give me some Pepsi bottle. Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi bottle.
I know that every man, woman and child of our new nation shares this moment of pride and happiness.
MTV proudly wishes Papua New Guinea a happy 50th anniversary.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Now looking at the MoneyPlus weather report for the next 24 hours. In the southern region, Port Moresby City mostly fine to partly cloudy. Daru partly cloudy with chances of brief showers. Kerema cloudy periods with occasional rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Alotau mostly fine to partly cloudy. Popondetta cloudy periods with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. In the Momase region, Ley City cloudy periods with few rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Medang cloudy periods with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Wewak partly cloudy with chances of brief showers. And Vanimo partly cloudy with possible few showers and thunderstorm. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau cloudy periods with few showers. Kavieng cloudy periods with some showers and possible thunderstorm. Kokopo and Rabaul cloudy periods with rain showers and thunderstorm. Kimbe cloudy periods with rain showers and thunderstorms. And Buka cloudy with heavy rain, rain showers and possible thunderstorms. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City cloudy periods with some rain, showers and possible thunderstorms. Goroka Bans and Kundiawa cloudy periods with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. And Mendi, Tari and Wabek cloudy periods with heavy showers, rain and possible thunderstorm.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Monday, the 9th of June 2025. From all of us here, pleasant viewing and good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.